Welcome back to Streaming for Small Churches. I really hope you enjoyed the last episode where the three of us used Reaper and saw some of its flaws and some of its great points to record our version of Raise a Hallelujah. Now it's my job to mix it and to take the next steps with everyone through Reaper. Originally I wanted to do this combined with DaVinci Resolve in just one episode, but you'll see very quickly why that's not possible. I really hope you enjoy it. So here we are back in Reaper, and I just want to give it a really quick walkthrough, because I realise we may have jumped the gun a bit with just jumping straight in, that you may not actually know how a DAW works. You may be coming from a mixing desk or something a bit different. So here is the arrange window. This could be audio, it could be MIDI, you can do timecode within Reaper for syncing up proper videos or cameras. It's really flexible. I just have here the audio tracks that relate to what we've been doing. And this is a session I originally created. It has the bass edits where I mess things up. And as you can see, I've imported Ben's electric and Mikey's acoustic and vocals. I've coloured all the tracks in a way that I like to work, and that can be found in track and then track colour. So that's kind of a real look at the arrange page. Let's just get back to see everything I want. Then down here we have some transport controls. Go to the start of the project, we'll go to the end of the project. We've got the record button, which we all mentioned last time out. We've got the play button. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Next to it we have this repeat button, and if you come up to this top timeline here and drag out, you can create a loop section. And if I now enabled that, let's make that just a little smaller, and I hit play up to it, you can hear it jumps back to that section, which is really great if you're trying to EQ or gate drums, that you can go straight to a drum fill and really edit that. And now if I double click on timeline, it's going to select the whole project. Next to that we have the stop button, which probably needs no explanation, and the pause button. And then we have some numbers, those who are musical, and if this has been put to a BPM grid, we have bars, beats and measures. And next to that we have hours, minutes, seconds, frames. So you can see that our project here, is about 6 minutes long. Why Ben has left all that space, I don't know. Let's drag that back. There we go. If I just pick a random point and play, we will hear that it just all sounds a bit of a mess. Everything's there's probably too much tracks, everything isn't nice and clearly defined, so let's start by trying to make some improvements incrementally. Then we'll look at EQ, compression and effects, and then we'll bounce it out ready to go over to DaVinci Resolve. So the first thing we're going to do is mute the bass and the two electrics, so that we've just got the tracks, the acoustic and the vocals, and we'll keep around the same section. already much clearer, but as I play this again, I'm going to bring down the volume of the loops and the keys. Again, already we are starting to sound better. It's all a bit easier to go to. And now I'm going to bring down the volume of the acoustic just a little as our starting point. Okay, now we've got the vocals starting to sit through. So we're going to mute up the tracks, and up here you can see where it says effects, and this is going to allow me to put on EQ, compression and other effects. So click it and it's going to open up with all the Reaper default ones. So we have Recomp, which is a compressor, which we'll look at, Re-EQ, which is EQ. If you've got full drum kit, Regate. Now these are included with Reaper. I don't want to look at anything that is third party for now. So I'm going to add a Re-EQ, and there it is. I'm also going to add a Recomp, and these are the two that we're going to use the most. Let's look at Re-EQ first. We can see it is 4-band, and each of those bands can be a number of different things. This low one I want to be a high pass, exactly the same as you find it on a mixing desk. I'm going to leave it there unless we need to move it at 100 Hz. It's quite a nice shape off, and that's just to get rid of any low end sort of rumble that may have been recorded on the acoustic. And we'll just have a little play. And I'll turn it off. Yeah, that's making a difference. The second thing that I do whenever I'm EQing anything, especially live, but it equally applies here in this more studio setting, is I have it on a band type EQ, so that we have frequency, we have gain, and we have bandwidth. And then I whack the gain all the way up. I tighten this bandwidth. I'm going to play, I'm going to listen to somewhere where it pokes out something that doesn't sound right, and then I'm going to bring this gain down. Right, so we'll play it from there. Okay, I learnt two things there. One, that this bit at 281 Hz doesn't sound great, so we're going to bring that down. But as I was listening, I heard something that was about 150 Hz. So this high pass, I'm going to bring up to 150 Hz. I can probably get that more accurate if I double type there. And then I'm going to play. You can already hear that's giving the vocal more space to cut through. And then I'm going to do the same again. There it is. And this fourth one, I want to be a band pass again. I'll turn this gain up. And I think what I want is a little high-end sparkle in that guitar, just so there's something. So there we go, we've EQ'd our guitar. Now it's going to be vastly different from what you do live, because you're going to be listening on headphones or maybe studio monitors. You've not got a room that's getting in the way, so you can be a bit more solid and precise with these things. And then we'll come down to recomp, and it is a basic compressor here. We have our threshold, we have our attack, release, ratio. These are the controls we're going to worry about for now. I kind of want my attack to be a little quicker and my release to be a little longer. I'm looking for about 6 dB of compression when Mikey plays at his hardest. So let's play this. Ah yes, I made a boo-boo. I forgot to put any ratio on. I like to start my acoustic guitars at 3.5. So now we'll try it. Now to me that sounds like the type of result I want. The vocal suddenly, without doing anything to the vocal, is pushing forward, and that for me in worship is really important, that people can hear the vocal, that they can sing along in their own home or when services are around, that people can hear what's going on. So let me just disable these so you can have a quick before and after. So there we go. That's how we're going to look at the acoustic. We've made more space for the vocals without doing anything to the vocal. So if I put the tracks in. I think we're getting quite a good solid start to this mix. And from now on, we will do everything in the context of having the tracks in and the acoustic in. So next we're going to look at the vocals. And again, I'm going to use re-EQ and recomp. I'm going to make my first one a high pass. And because it's a vocal, I will probably start this a little higher up. This is to account for like poor mic technique or like other rumblings. People are recording at home. There could be washing machines, there could be hoovers, there could be TVs in different rooms, and it's low frequencies that really travel. So let's play that now. And then I'm going to do exactly what I did before. So here's our basic vocal EQ. It's not too different from what I do if we were meeting in a church building. What I would say is that I would love this to maybe a sixth band, so that at the minute I've got to make a decision between either cutting something I don't like or boosting something I like, and I think Mikey's voice would just, there'll be something extra if I could just put in something a bit further up higher wise. So let's move on to compressor. I will remember to put a ratio in this time. I like it about 4:1. Slightly longer attack, slightly longer release. Again, 3 to 6 dB compression. If it jumps over that when he sings loudly, that's absolutely fine. Okay, that's a nice amount of compression, but what I'm going to need to do now is just put up a little bit of extra gain. Just to keep Mikey's voice really on top of things. And it looks like Reaper have included what's known as parallel compression, so I can bring in some of the completely unprocessed, uncompressed signal in, and that may be a thing. Let's add that. Quite like that, so we'll keep that for now. If it becomes too much, we'll come and pull it out. So we're on to bass. Again, we're going to add re-EQ and recomp. Now, I bet the bass doesn't sound too bad by itself. Let's add it in. And maybe we'll solo it. You know what, it sounds okay, but it doesn't have the hugest amount of character. So I think we can do a little better. Let's keep this soloed. High pass as normal, although it's going to be a lot lower, and that's just to get rid of any nasty little rumbles. This will be probably the only time you will see a little peak in an EQ that is a bit more than normal. Just to get some real definition down the low end. We will use compression to control it if it's too much. As I was putting that in, I also heard something I really didn't like. Again, that low end is a bit too much. And finally, just I've stopped. Just something to get some of the high attack of the notes in. that gives it a bit more character. There we go, there's our before, and there's our after. Take solo off and see how that fits. Heaven comes to fight for me. Sing a little louder in the presence of my enemy. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. If we go over to the compressor, it's where I go a bit mental. I have a really large ratio, and I want this to be past -12. Really quick attack, really long release. Let's play it. Sing a little louder. My weapon is a melody. Sing a little louder. Heaven comes to fight. Now that's almost disappeared, so we'll bring it up. Sing a little louder. My weapon is a melody. Sing a little louder. Heaven comes to fight for me. Sing a little louder. Okay, it's fair to say also you have this little toggle switch here which will switch all the effects on and off. So let's just do a quick A/B on that bass in the context of the mix so far. Okay, so that's everything off. And there we go, we're really building quite a strong mix, and I think it's sounding great. Let's mute everything for now. We're going to concentrate on the two electrics. Ben sent over one, which is more rhythm based, and a second one which is more lead based. So let's just play those together. It's great. As you saw from his vlog, there's quite a lot of delay and reverb on them. For me, right now, they just sit right in the middle. And what I want them to have is a bit more space. So electric one, I'm going to take this pan control, which sits up here. Looks like a pan control you'd find on a mixing desk. And electric one, I'm going to pan 35% left. There it is. And electric 2, I'm going to pan a similar amount right. I went too far. And I'm going to play them again. Already we've got a bit more definition between the two different parts. So let's bring everything in, and that will tell us if we need to do anything more. Okay, now to me, that is crowding the vocal. So what I want to do is stop some of that happening. So first of all, I'm going to bring down both parts, but I'm going to bring down this one I'm controlling now just a little bit more, which is the lead part. Now that sounds great. It's sounding like a mix has really come together, but both guitars have lost a little bit of their sparkle. If I solo this first one now, there's some high frequency stuff that's being lost, and in this one it feels a bit hollow. So both we're going to put EQ and compression on. for now, I'm going to mute up Electric 2. And here we are with Electric 1. You know what's coming, that high pass. And just a quick note that a lot of people have moved to Kempers or Helixes or HX Stomps or Axe Effects, things that aren't real amps. And what they tend to do is put a lot of extra information above 5K that wouldn't exist in a speaker. So if you find that that is a problem when you're EQing things, put a low pass in and set it like that. I'm not going to do that now because I don't think it's going to be a problem on these tracks. I'm going to play that along. Okay, you can hear that quite a difference that EQ is making. Okay, so that's off. That's on. I'm still not sure on this much there. Okay, that's getting there. So let's add in our compression. I'm going to be aiming for no more than 60 dB again. Okay, that's you can hear the electric without it taking space from the vocals, so I'm reasonably happy with that. And let's do the same on the lead part. So we'll load up re-EQ and re-comp. So if I mute that, yeah, we've sort of got our rough mix together. I think I want to make just a couple of tweaks to how these tracks sound. If I solo them, you can tell that they've really been put together, but something isn't just quite sitting with them for me when I play. So I think they just need a little, we're talking a tiniest amount of EQ. I want high pass. I'm going to set this at 75 Hertz just to take any real low end off. People are going to be watching on TVs, phones, things that probably don't do it. So maybe just somewhere there, and I think I just want to put the smallest amount of compression on it, so no more than a couple of dB. Yeah, there we go, something like that. So there's our track, but it all feels a bit dry and not really like live. So what we can do now is add from here 2 tracks, and you can see I've not coloured them. And I'm going to call this one reverb, and I'm going to call this one delay. From the effects, I want reverb, which I will show in a minute, and on delay I want re-delay. Now, where to start? Let's start with reverb. This is their basic impulse response one, really great sounding. However, to get it working, we need to click on where it says no preset, and I'm going to go Sweet Verbo, and suddenly opens up. I do not want echo generator, and I do not want any dry signal in. So that's our reverb setup. And re-delay, I again do not want any dry signal. What I want is just a kind of slap back. So I want it to be like 85 milliseconds. That's really quite quick. I do want a little bit of feedback. I'm not really sure how this converts. I'm used to seeing it in a different way. But high pass and low pass, I don't want it to be super hi-fi, this reverb. So I'm going to bring up my high pass to like 2000 Hertz and my low pass let's say 6,000. Yeah, so it's only going to really affect the reverb. And I'm going to bring both of these volumes down. Now to send to either of those things, we have to hit this little button here called root. And we need to create some new sends. So I want to send to reverb, and I want to send to delay. So anything that is coming out of our vocal is going to go to our master, but it's also going to go to our reverb and our delay, and it's going to set it as default that whatever goes to all of them is going to go at 0 dB, so full on. And I'm quite happy for that. If we play this back now, it shall sound no different. So what we're going to do is I'm slowly going to bring in the reverb and I'm slowly going to bring the delay. Now one of the things that people go too hard, too fast is with effects. People will notice, so less very much is more. So. Now you probably couldn't hear that until I stopped playing, and that's perfect. So I'm happy with how that sounds. In fact, let's just hear those together. In the presence of my enemies, sing a little louder, oh louder than the unbelief, sing a little louder. Okay, let's add in the delay. Is a melody, sing a little louder. Heaven comes to fight for me, sing a little louder. In the presence of my enemies, sing a little louder, louder than the unbelief, sing a little louder. My weapon is a melody, sing a little louder, sing a little louder. I'm gonna say. There we go, we're hearing all our effects together. Now, I don't think, personally, for me, I go any more than that. I think this feedback is probably too much. And there we go, there we have our mix together for Raise a Hallelujah. So that's our mix put together. I have just very quickly trimmed up some of these front edges, and that is as easy as grabbing, let's do it, I'll put here, where I've got this tool, and grabbing it forwards, and then if you go to the top you get a fade in tool. So I've just done that to get rid of some noises, some foot noises from the guitar and the vocal, some fret noises from myself on the bass and the two electric guitars, just so it really trims up nicely. We're all good to go and bounce this out now. So I will go to File and Render. And there we go. I just want to put it there. I'm going to hit Render One File and off it goes. Well, thank you for joining us. Next time I'm going to be looking at DaVinci Resolve and how we can put the videos together. I really hope you'll join us then.